5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
This is About Space, America's return to space, with news and information on our U.S. space program. Is your host of About Space, David Denault.
Welcome, and thank you for joining me today from our new Florida studios for Part 5, SETI and NASA. Remember, the purpose of our podcast is to have you investigate for yourselves after About Space provides you the information. There are two encounters I would like to bring to your attention today, and you're probably familiar with the July 1947 crash that many believe was a flying saucer. About 75 miles from the town of Roswell, New Mexico, a rancher named Mac Brazel found something unusual in his sheep pasture. A mess of metallic sticks held together with tape, chunks of plastic and foil reflectors, and scraps of heavy, glossy paper-like material. Unable to identify the strange objects, Brazel called the sheriff of Roswell. The sheriff in turn called officials at the nearby Roswell Army Air Force Base. Soldiers fanned out across Brazel's field, gathering the mysterious debris and whisking it away in armored trucks, never to be seen again by the public. An interview with Roswell's funeral director as he describes the aliens next on About Space today. Are you ready to fly away on a dream vacation? For cruises and all-inclusive resort vacations, call D&D Cruise and Tours at 877-747-8631. That's 877-747-8631. And see us on Facebook, D&D Cruise and Tours, where your dreams become a reality. Welcome back. W. Glenn Davis remembers all too well that the crash was not any type of aircraft. As the Roswell funeral director, he had access to the base and saw some of the debris and describes the bodies of the dead aliens.
Well, the ears, like I think I stated to you, that the ears, there was a couple of small orifices, one on top of the other, with two little lobe flaps, one over the other. They didn't really know how those, if they had any significance, how they worked or what. They didn't go into that. The nose was only a couple of very small orifices, holes right there, just above the lip line. But it had, there wasn't anything covering it. And it was just like two small indentations there, and that was it.
The following day after the crash, he had lunch with a friend, a nurse that held the rank of lieutenant. Here is an excerpt of his story.
Just a light lunch, but she was so upset. She looked like she was, in shock is what she really talked like and looked like. And she said, I said, well, I was just curious. The only reason I want to talk to you, I was curious on what happened. And she said, well, you won't believe it. And she says, I don't believe it either. But she said, I got in a lot of trouble on this thing. I'm not real sure about this, but she said, then she pulled out of a little purse or little pocketbook, whatever she had there. She gave me a little diagram that she had drawn some figures of some arms and face and so on. She told me that this is what, was in those, that it was a crash. Wasn't an airplane, but they didn't know what it was at that time. Yeah, but she said we have three bodies. There was three bodies. She said two of them were very mutilated. One looked like it might have walked out, or that it, might have lived a little while. And she explained they were like 3.5 feet to 4 feet tall. The two of the bodies were you couldn't identify much because they were practically destroyed, and it looked like maybe that they might have been a predatory animal or something might have been doing some damage on the bodies too.
Glenn Davis, Roswell, New Mexico funeral director. So, what do you believe happened on a ranch in 1947? Join me next Tuesday as About Space answers your questions about alien abductions. I'll share 2 unexplained cases. Thank you for joining me today, and be sure to follow us on Facebook at aboutspace.today. And listen to our Friday news report, America in Space with Rick Potluck from our Washington Bureau. And don't forget, share our program with your family and friends. I'm David Denault, and this has been About Space Today.